What is going on, LEGO Maniacs? It's Tyler LEGO Guy here, and welcome to another episode of Old School Wednesdays. Honestly, we're going again with the Western theme, and honestly, this set's fantastic. The set we're going to be looking at is the Bandits Secret Hideout. That set 6761 came out in 1996, had 250 pieces, 5 minifigs, and retailed for 40 US, which back in the day was actually quite expensive. But honestly, this set's jam-packed. Like I said, there's so many really cool features. One thing I really liked about old LEGO sets is they put feature after feature in them, and well, we're gonna get into that. I'll show you guys. I'm just really impressed with this set. I actually never got it till a couple months ago. This was the last main cowboy set that I needed, and honestly, it didn't disappoint. And it's a pretty big set. It's one of the bigger Western sets. But yeah, I can't wait to get into this. But yeah, enough talk. Let's get right into it. So to start, let's give you guys a 360 view of this set. So honestly, so many details. We're gonna be going from one area to another because this set is jam-packed with detail and little features. So really, really like this set. Yeah, just a really cool set. So giving you guys a 360 view. So what we'll start off first, as I destroy it, is first off, the first little thing we'll notice is it has a little wheel water bottle, whatever these things were called, water towers. It's kind of like a miniature version of that, which is pretty cool. And then they also have a stairway here, what's interesting is they weren't putting this as a feature, but the stairs can come down. So in case the bandit doesn't want them in his office, he can just like knock the stairs off, which is kind of interesting. Moving on, let's actually move on to the interior of the base first, because I know most people that like LEGO love interiors. This is probably the best feature. You can see the guy on the cannon. We'll get into that. So that has a nice little window area. So pretty cool. And then what's also cool is if a bandit's up here and he wants to drop this on one of the cavalrymen, he just lifts this and bang, that barrel comes right down. So pretty cool. We'll move into the interior a little bit more. So as you guys can see, there's just a very simple little office, but still pretty cool. And then there's this weird interior. It's kind of like an old gold mine. And then they got obviously some cannonballs over here. And moving on to this area of the set, they have almost what's kind of like it doesn't really make sense, but I think it's pretty cool. All these guns on one little area. So I mean, this guy could just go to town. It reminds me of a machine gun, even though it's not a Gatling gun, which they hadn't been. Actually, they might have been just invented in the end of the basically Wild West era. I believe it was a British invention actually, but anyways. Then they got a little area here for two guys to play cards. Now, I will say, as I destroy everything, I don't particularly think that that's a great little area. I think there could be put a lot more detail than what we got. But all in all, still pretty cool. And then let's move on to the front. So now let's get into some of the features. So what I really liked about this set, we already got into the little barrel. But the best part of this set as far as features go, is let's say this horse is walking along the gold mine path. He trips on this and, okay, well that was pathetic. Let's try that again. That was really bad. Maybe I have to be more violent, I think. So he's walking along and in theory, the cannon guy is supposed to come right down. Okay, once more, because this is bugging me. This really needs to work. Really cool theory in theory, but so there you go. The cannon guy comes right down. That was a good one, and yeah, he blasts them away. So honestly, these cavalrymen are kind of screwed, to be honest. But yeah, and what I also really liked about this set is notice there's no vehicles. They didn't get carried away making vehicles, and the base is kind of crappy. This base is honestly fantastic. But now that we've gone through all the features of the base, let's look at some of the smaller builds. So this is just nothing too crazy. It's just a horse, but I really liked it, which is part of the reason we're looking at it. It's because it has a rifle area on one side, and it has an old safe on the other. So just really cool. I also really appreciate the skeleton with the keep out as well as the gold mine signs. But yeah, that pretty well does the set. Now let's take a look at the minifigs.
So here we have the 2 US Army minifigs. So yeah, I really like these minifigs. One thing I just wanted to mention is this is a new way I'm doing kind of the minifigs. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Actually, one of the fellow YouTuber actually brought this to my attention that, you know, the reviews could be a little bit better. And so I'm trying to get the minifigs up close and doing less at a time. So let me know what you guys think about this, if you like it more or not. So, and honestly, back to the minifigs, I honestly really like them. So on the right, we obviously have, I believe it's Lieutenant, and then on the left is just a standard cavalry soldier. If you notice on their belts, though, they both say US, which is pretty cool. You don't normally see actual printed letters on minifigs. So honestly, really cool looking minifigs. One's obviously an orange haired man, and then the other one is looks like his beard is graying. There is no back face printing, any back torso printing. They had not done that really in the 90s, if at all. But yeah, really cool looking minifigs. Now let's take a look at the Bandits. So here we have the 3 Bandits. So on the left, this is probably my favorite Bandit. I've talked about him before. I just love his torso printing. As you can see, he's obviously a card player, and he has some spades and diamonds on him. So really cool looking minifig. He also has a gold tooth, which is awesome. Then in the middle, we have Flatfoot Thompson. So as you can see, he's losing his teeth. And then he just has a really cool looking torso. It's just a standard like cowboy-like shirt. Love his belt too. The other, yeah, the one on the right does have a belt. And then on the right, we have the other guy. I think this guy was based loosely off of Bandito. I'll show you guys the back as well. There's no back face or back torso printing. A pretty cool looking minifig. And actually, one thing I want to show you guys is on the right minifig, they generally will have him with his bandana up. So I'm just going to show you guys what that looks like. So here we have the Bandito looking like a Bandito. He just looks like the typical Bandito, which is honestly kind of awesome. He has dual pistols, so this guy is ready for business. But yeah, those are the 3 minifigs that are on the bad guys team. Honestly, really like them. There's just enough detail put into them to actually make these minifigs pretty good and stand up to today's standards. They're simpler, but I believe that they did a good job for these minifigs back in the 90s. But yeah, those are the minifigs. Now, let's get to the end of the review. But 2 other things I wanted to mention before we get into the end is I just really like this flag with the cross sabers. So you can see that that's kind of the insignia for the US Army back in the late 1800s. And then this is what the horses kind of looked like back in the day. As you can see there, all that moves as I destroy it is their heads. The the legs don't move. There's no other movable body parts on the horse. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is this trumpet. This, I believe, was an exclusive piece to this theme, and I just love that gold trumpet. LEGO kind of steers away from it because they kind of fade over time. I'll show you guys a little bit more. As you can see, it's fading a little bit as far as the gold, but still a really cool piece, and I wish LEGO did more chrome pieces, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, I thought I'd show you guys that. I thought it would be of interest.
Guys, that was a review, the review. I hope you enjoyed it. Honestly, final thoughts on this set. I know I've been enthusiastic about it from the start, is I think it's really good. I mean, yeah, it is a little dated, just for instance, that rock area where they just stacked another rock piece on top of a rock piece. But I mean, it's still such a great set. I love all the little features. It looks honestly good on a shelf or whatnot. And the minifigs are great too. I love the old US Army soldiers, and then they as well has obviously the Bandits. The only slight flaw I could ever find with the Western themed sets is I wish there was a little bit more variety with the minifigs. As we continue this theme, you'll find that there's very little variations, but keep in mind that this was just a couple years a couple years before this, before 96, in the early 90s, they just basically had every minifig and he had a smiley face. So they honestly went leaps and bounds, considering that that was just 4 or 5 years ago. That's what LEGO had, right? So that being said, they really stepped up their game in the mid 90s, like I've been saying in these Old School Wednesday episodes when I've been reviewing certain sets from the mid 90s. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you like this set? Do you not? Yeah, and as well, what's interesting is you can't always play a set for how much it was, because this set, honestly, if it was retailing nowadays, it'd be worth probably 60, 70 US, honestly. But yeah, anyways, really like this set. Actually, also let me know if you guys own this set, because I'd be interested to know that as well. But yeah, that's all I got for you today. But yeah, leave a like if you like this video, and definitely consider subscribing. And yeah, click that bell so that you're notified for any future Old School Wednesday sets, because we are going through, I probably have an inventory of another 20, 30 or 40 sets at least. But yeah, that's all I got for you today again, but take care. I'll catch you on the next one.